Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We continue our topic of stopping at the end of words, and today we will discuss what is Ishmaam and how do we stop with Ishmaam. Ishmaam is circling of the two lips, similar to pronouncing a dhamma, but without the sound of dhamma. So basically, this is just a gesture of Dhamma, which is circling of the two lips. Just like you can see in this picture, you shape your lips in this way as if you are going to give Dhamma, but there is no sound of Dhamma. Ishmam is only allowed when letter carries a Dhamma or Dhammatain. In order to stop with Ishmam, we put a temporary sukoon on the last letter that carries a dhamma or dhammatain, and immediately after, we circle the two lips in this shape to indicate the original vowel of the letter, which was dhamma. But there is no sound of dhamma. And even if the word ends with dhammatain, we stop on the last letter with a sukoon and then circle the lips immediately after in this shape. So here I wrote some examples, and you can see all these words either ends with dhamma or dhammatain. That means we have an option to stop on these words with waqf bil ishmam. And the benefit of waqf bil ishmam is to identify the vowel of the last letter of the word where we are choosing to stop. So when stopping with Ishmaam, there are certain points we need to remember. And the first one is Ishmaam is only allowed when the letter carries a dhamma or dhammatain, because it is a gesture of circling of the two lips, and we cannot circle our lips for fatha or kasra. So we can apply the rule of waqf bil ishmam only if the last letter of the word has a dhamma or dhammatain. The second thing that we need to keep in mind is that when giving ishmam, you first recite the letter with a temporary sukoon, and then immediately after that, you circle your lips with some space between the two lips, as you can see in this picture, to show the vowel of the letter, but without the sound of dhamma. And it is very important to remember that the gesture of circling the lips occurs directly after reciting the letter with the temporary sukoon, because if there is a delay in making the gesture of ishmam, then there is a possibility that we are stopping with sukoon and not following ishmam. And the fourth point is ishmam is seen but not heard, because there is no sound and there is only a gesture. And the fifth point is when stopping with ishmam on a letter which is preceded by a letter of mad, we can apply the rule of maddul aridu sukoon, because on the last letter we are putting a temporary sukoon. So now the mother letter is in the condition of maddul aridu sukoon, where we can recite it with 2, 4, or 6 counts, such as in these examples, reciting the letter known with the temporary sukoon, and now I have an option to recite ya mad with 2, 4, or 6 counts, and then immediately after reciting the letter known with a temporary sukoon, I will circle the two lips in this shape to show the vowel of the last letter, which is dhamma, but without the sound of dhamma. And this is how we will stop with ishmam on this word, nasta'in. And then immediately after, I will circle the two lips in this shape. And in the next example, we will put a temporary sukoon on the last letter. And by reciting letter ya with maddul aridu sukoon, we will recite it like this, alim. And immediately after, we will circle the two lips in this shape to show the vowel of the last letter, but without the sound of dhamma. And here I would like to mention a point regarding letter meme. When it is the last letter of a word, and we are choosing to stop on that word with ishmam, as we are going to recite letter meme with a temporary sukoon first, we will close our lips for sakin letter meme with the full closure of the two lips, and then because of ishmam, we will circle the lips in this shape by giving a space between the two lips to show the vowel of the last letter, but without the sound of the vowel. And the sixth point is, when stopping on letter Ra with Ishmam, that means Ra has either a Dhamma or Dhammatain. We follow the rules of Tafkhim or Tarqiq for the letter Ra exactly the same way when we are stopping on the letter Ra with a Sukoon. Such as in this example, in case of continuation, I will recite it like this, Yastaghfiru. But if I choose to stop here with a temporary sukoon on letter Ra, then I have the conditions where letter Ra is recited with tarqiq, because when I put a temporary sukoon on letter Ra, I will follow the vowel of the previous letter. Since that is a kasra, I will make letter Ra light. And when stopping with sukoon al-mahab, I will recite it like this, Yastaghfir. But when I am choosing to stop with Ishmam on this word, because I have to give a temporary sukoon to letter Ra, the letter Ra will be recited with tarqi, and then immediately after reciting it like this, Yastaghfir, I will circle the lips in this gesture that you can see in this picture to show the vowel of letter Ra without the sound of Dhamma. But letter Ra will be recited here with tarqiq. And the seventh point is, if the last letter is recited with a qalqala upon stopping, then qalqala will be applied when stopping with ishmam. Just as in this example, the last letter originally has a dhammatain. That means I can stop with ishmam, and in order to do that, I will put a temporary sukoon on letter dal, and when letter dal is sakin, we recite it with the qalqala. So this is how we recite it when stopping with ishmam, ahad, and immediately after that, circle the two lips as shown in the picture to indicate the vowel of the last letter, but without the sound of dhamma. And lastly, when a word is ending with dhammatain, we stop on the word by putting a temporary sukoon on the last letter, and then immediately after that, we circle the two lips exactly the way when pronouncing a dhamma, but without the sound of dhamma. So here in the word azimun, when choosing to stop with ishmam, this is how you will recite azim. And then immediately after that, this gesture will occur, as you can see in the picture, to show the vowel of the last letter, but without the sound of dhamma. Here are some examples where we can stop with ishmam, as ishmam is only seen and not heard. Insha'Allah, I'll try my best to explain all the steps that are needed to stop on a word with ishmam. And then for the gesture, follow this picture and circle your lips this way. Such as in this example, the word originally is annasu. Upon stopping here with ishmam, I will recite letter seen with a temporary sukoon, and right after that, I will circle the two lips in this shape, but without the sound of dhamma. So upon stopping, you will hear the word like this, annas. And then right after that, I will circle the lips in this shape. In the next example, the word zulumatun, upon stopping with ishmam, I will recite letter ta with a temporary sukoon like this, zulumat. And then immediately after, I will circle the two lips with this shape. In the next example, fayaghfiru, upon stopping here with ishmam, I will recite the letter ra with a sukoon, and in this case, letter ra will be recited with tarqiq, or I will recite letter ra light like this, فَيَغْفِرْ, and then immediately after that, I will circle the two lips with this shape. In the next example, حاسد, where letter dal carries a dhammatain, but when I choose to stop with Ishmaam, I will recite letter dal with a sukoon by applying qalqala like this, hasid. And then immediately after that, we circle the lips in this shape to show the vowel, but without the sound of the vowel. The next word, yaqulu, when I am choosing to stop with Ishmaam, I will recite it like this, yaqul. And then immediately after that, I will circle the two lips in this shape. In the next example, annaharu, when I choose to stop with Ishmaam, we'll put a temporary sukoon on letter ra, and letter ra here is in a tafkhim condition, and I will recite it like this, annahar. And right after reciting letter ra with a sukoon, I will circle the two lips in this shape. So in short, when stopping on a word with Ishmaam, Ishmaam follows the rules of Waqf or stopping exactly the way we stop with a temporary sukoon. So Ishmaam is an expression of circling the two lips in this shape to show the vowel of the letter, but without the sound of the vowel. I hope the ruling of Waqf bil Ishmaam is clear to you. Insha'Allah, in our next class, we will discuss Waqf bil Raum. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.